So I kind of thought today what we could talk about is, because it's Mental Health Awareness Week, and the theme is about loneliness, I thought it'd be quite good to kind of just talk about our experience of loneliness and how we've overcome it. And just in terms of like from being from like a BAMER community, because it's been, you know, it's really difficult with mental health anyway, but the barriers that we have to kind of tackle from being particular sort of ethnic groups can be quite challenging and quite isolating. So I thought we could just have like a sort of a general conversation for a few minutes about it, if that's all right.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I can tell you from my background, because I come from a Turkish background, I felt very, very isolated when I first had my mental health issues. There wasn't much around. It was a taboo subject, but what's good about going to these groups is I realised that I'm not alone, and I can get support from other people from ethnic background, and it's given me more of a good view and more that, you know, I'm not alone.
So you found like, have you found it comfortable talking within the group about your experiences? I mean, not going into too much detail, some of the stuff that you've tried to kind of overcome, and as you mentioned about sort of like, you know, the Turkish community and how it can be quite taboo around mental health, and that's, I think that we can all kind of relate to that in each of our communities. But how have you found the kind of, you know, the Engaging Me workshops, the Open Mind ongoing peer support?
The workshop, you know, brings to light and how you can carry on and receive support and use, you know, you learn tools and things like that. But the biggest help after the workshop had finished was actually the Open Mind group, and how we come to trust each other, and no matter what the issue or problem is, you know, you've got the support there. You've got it's like a free flow. You can unload and you can speak and not feel like anyone's judging you, and that's the most important thing. It's a safe place. And you know, and it's so good that I can express my views and my opinions without being judged on anything that I might be going through at that particular time. But the support that I get, you know, is so great. You know, I'd never want to miss a session.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you for sharing that, Nalan. What about yourself, Terry?
Yeah, before I joined the group, I always found it difficult talking to family and friends about how I felt and stuff, because people tell you to just get over it, and because as a black race we're supposed to be strong, they don't really want to, it's stuff they don't really want to talk about. But joining the group, it's made me feel lonely, and it made me feel like I can talk about anything without being judged, without worrying about what other people think. I mean, like, there are times when I feel a bit stressed and depressed, and then I think about the advice that I get from people within the group, and it gives me that little bit of a boost to realize on certain days of the week, like on the Thursday, I can come back to the group and there's people that I can speak to, and they give their feedback, and it's always positive because everybody's pretty much going through the same thing. It's like having a different family, because we understand each other and we support one another and we give each other strength. And it's like, that's the most important thing, not to feel like you're on your own and there's nobody that gets it. And it's a really nice feeling, because like I said, you can be going through anything at any point, and it's like you just think of how think of the advice that you've got, and then it's like it just makes you feel so much better.
That's really good. That's really good. And I know, like, you know, you've had a difficult journey as well, and it has been amazing to kind of see, you know, how you've kind of developed through the workshops and what you've got out of the actual open mind group as well. And with kind of both of you feeling kind of less isolated and connected with others is one of the most powerful things.
Yeah.
And that's really good. And we're kind of really pleased that we've been able to do that. Shauna, you mainly facilitate the group, the open mind group, but you took part as a participant before you became a volunteer. Tell us a little bit about kind of like your experiences.
Yeah, so I remember a time in my life where I just needed help and I just wasn't sure where I was going to get that from. I had like looked for different like types of counselling, which I got, which was quite nice, but I just felt that it would be good to be amongst a community that understand what I'm going through and maybe some of the struggles that I've had growing up as well. So when I did find the Engage in Me sessions, it was just nice to be able to know that these people get it, and I'm getting like practical advice and practical things that I can take away and really work on. I really valued that so much that when I did get to the end of it and did start the open mind group, which was like a carry on, that I just felt like I wanted to give the same support that I was getting. I definitely mirror what Terry was saying about, you know, feeling that sometimes, you know, your friends and family, they love you, but they just don't understand, they just don't get it. So it's nice to be around people that get it, people that will keep you accountable, being in a group where it's a loving, safe environment. So that just made me feel, you know, why would I not want to facilitate this? Why would I not want to, you know, try and help others the way that I've been helped, especially others that have been the BAMER community. So even though it's been a long journey, I would definitely say feeling lonely, I can't really say that I have that at this moment in time, but I do know that if it was to come up, I know exactly where I can go.
Brilliant, brilliant. And it's just so, like I said, it's so amazing to kind of just see how all of you have just kind of developed so much, and the confidence that you've kind of built within yourselves. And we all know that, you know, part of loneliness, you lose your self-identity, you lose your self-esteem, you know, your self-confidence, and you feel like you are the only one that's feeling like that. And that was the idea of this particular group, is kind of getting people connected and enable people to have a voice in a safe space, as Nalan said, and, you know, mutual respect, to kind of overcome those kind of barriers that the BAMER community faces, but also the loneliness there. So if you had one quick message to give to people out there, what would you say? What would you do to encourage them to kind of join groups like the ones that we run?
I would say don't be frightened, because taking a first step can be quite daunting. I would say come and see for yourself. Don't be frightened, and we're all non-judgmental.
Brilliant.
Well, I would say don't be afraid to speak your mind, because there's other people going through the same thing. And sharing is caring. There are people that care about what you're going through. So share with everyone, and you just get stronger. So, yeah.
Brilliant.
I would say that even though mental health has its stigma within certain communities, you come into these groups, there's no stigma. there's just love. We all just want to encourage one another to do better and to be better and to feel better. So again, you know, when, you know, we feel that we need to, like, we're not well, what do? We go to the doctors. And it's the same with attending these groups. When you feel like you may be a little bit lonely or don't understand how to process things, it's really nice to come to these type of groups where you can try and make sense of stuff and be in a safe place where you know that you have people that love you and care about you.
Brilliant. Thank you, guys. It means a lot. And I really hope that people who are listening to this get something out of it and visit our website, you know, Lewisham Peer Support, have a look on there. This is our open mind group, and we would welcome people from the BAMER community to come and join us and reduce that loneliness and be around people who understand where you're coming from. So thank you, guys, and thank you for making the group such a strong group as well, because your contribution, your trust, you know, your support, you know, the ideas and everything you do in that group is so powerful, and there's such a strong bond, and that's difficult to create, but you guys have created that, so that's really amazing. So thank you very much. Okay,
no problem.